Last night, you probably lay in bed and felt it. That quiet ache, that strange emptiness. Even if someone was sleeping next to you, even if your phone was full of messages, you felt alone. Now here's what's strange. For almost 300,000 years of human history, that feeling didn't exist. Ancient humans ended every single night the same way. Together, warm, surrounded. And science is now revealing exactly why they never felt what so many of us feel every night. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never see your nights the same way again. Let's go back, way back. Picture a night sky with no light pollution, every star sharp and blazing. A fire crackling at the center of a small group of people, the smoke rising slowly, the air cooling, children drifting to sleep against their mothers, elders speaking softly, hunters resting, the sound of breathing, of laughter, of stories. This wasn't a special occasion. This was just another night. This was every single night for hundreds of thousands of years. Now I want you to really sit inside this scene for a moment. Imagine you are there. You have spent the entire day moving, hunting, gathering, building. Your body is tired in the best possible way. And now, as the sun disappears and the stars appear one by one, something shifts. The pace slows. The noise of the world drops away. And the people you love most in the world, the ones you were born beside, the ones who carried you when you couldn't walk, the ones who will mourn you when you're gone, they are all right here. Close enough to touch, warm enough to feel. You don't need to check if anyone is thinking about you. You already know. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner spent decades studying the Jew/Honsi Bushmen of the Kalahari, one of the few remaining hunter-gatherer communities on Earth. She found something remarkable. During the day, their conversations were mostly practical. Tasks, food, work. But at night, around the fire, 81% of their conversation shifted to storytelling. Stories about distant lands, about ancestors, about who they were. Night wasn't the end of the day for ancient humans. It was the most important part of the day. It was where identity was built, where community was strengthened, where loneliness simply had no room to exist. Here's something that might surprise you. Your body was literally built for this kind of nighttime connection. Neuroscientist John Cacioppo, who spent 30 years studying loneliness at the University of Chicago, discovered that the human brain treats social isolation the same way it treats physical pain. The same neural pathways, the same alarm signals. Being alone at night doesn't just feel bad. To your ancient brain, it feels dangerous. And this makes perfect sense when you think about it. For 99% of human history, being separated from your group at night meant one thing. You were exposed, vulnerable, in danger. The predators came at night. The cold came at night. The unknown came at night. So your brain evolved a powerful warning system, a deep, uncomfortable feeling designed to drive you back toward the group. That feeling is loneliness. And there's more. When humans sit together in low, warm light, like firelight, our brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the trust chemical, the same hormone released when a mother holds her newborn. Firelight, it turns out, is not just romantic. It is neurologically calibrated for human connection. Your brain and body evolved for thousands of years around that specific kind of light. Warm, flickering, shared. When was the last time you sat in low, warm light with someone you care about, with no screens, no distractions, nowhere else to be? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely want to know. So what happened? How did we go from the most connected species on Earth to a world where loneliness is now called a global epidemic? The U.S. Surgeon General declared loneliness a public health crisis in 2023. Studies show that chronic loneliness is as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Not metaphorically, literally. Same mortality risk. And it gets worse at night. A 2022 study published in the journal Sleep found that nighttime loneliness is significantly more intense than daytime loneliness. The brain, without the distractions of the day, turns inward. And when there's no one there, it notices. Here's what changed. We replaced firelight with screens. Firelight pulled faces toward each other. Screens turned faces away. Firelight slowed the mind down into a calm, connected state. Screens accelerated, flooding it with stimulation, comparison, and noise. We moved into separate rooms. For most of human history, sleeping alone would have felt like a punishment, a sign of exile. Now we call it privacy. We call it luxury. But our nervous systems haven't gotten the memo. And perhaps most quietly damaging of all, we lost the story. Ancient humans ended every night hearing their place in the world affirmed. Their history, their identity, their belonging. We end our nights scrolling through the highlight reels of strangers, comparing our insides to everyone else's outsides, and wondering, quietly, why we feel so invisible. Think about what that actually does to a person over time. Night after night, year after year, going to bed having consumed hundreds of images of people who seem happier, richer, more loved, more successful than you, and then lying in the dark with all of that. Ancient humans went to sleep knowing exactly where they stood in their world. We go to sleep questioning everything about ours. But here's the part that nobody is talking about, and it might be the most important thing in this entire video. Your nighttime loneliness is not a flaw. It's not anxiety. It's not weakness. It's a signal. Think about hunger. Hunger doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your body is working perfectly, reminding you of something you need. Nighttime loneliness is the same. It's your 300,000-year-old brain, perfectly intact, sending you a message. You were not built for this kind of isolation. You were built for the fire, for the voices, for the faces lit softly in the dark. And here's something beautiful, because that ancient wiring still works. Your brain still responds to warmth, to soft light, to a calm voice, to the simple feeling of not being alone. Have you ever felt lonely even in a crowded room? Or deeply at peace just sitting quietly with one person who truly knows you? That's not a coincidence. That's your ancient brain recognizing what it was designed for. If this is resonating with you, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this video. So what do we actually do with this? You don't need to move into a cave. You don't need to throw your phone into the sea. But there are small, deliberate things you can do, tonight, that your ancient nervous system will respond to immediately. First, light a candle or a lamp instead of overhead lighting after dark. Warm, dim light signals safety to your brain. It lowers cortisol and activates the same calming pathways as firelight. This is not a wellness trend. This is biology. Second, call someone. Don't text them. A 2020 study from the University of Texas found that a phone call reduced feelings of loneliness and disconnection significantly more than a text message. Your brain needs to hear a voice. It always has. Even a 5-minute call with someone who makes you laugh can shift the entire feeling of your night. Try it once. Just once. And pay attention to how different you feel after. Third, end your day with a story, not a scroll. Read. Listen to a podcast. Watch something that makes you think or feel. Ancient humans ended every night with narrative, with meaning. Give your night that same shape. When you consume something meaningful before sleep instead of mindless content, you go to bed with your sense of self intact. You know who you are. You know what matters. And that feeling of groundedness, that is the closest thing to what ancient humans felt every single night around the fire. Fourth, eat dinner with someone whenever you can. A Harvard study tracking 80 years of human well-being, the longest happiness study ever conducted, found that close relationships were the single biggest predictor of a happy, healthy life. Not money, not status, not success. People, shared meals, presence. The dinner table is the modern campfire. And if you are eating alone right now, I want you to know that is not a permanent condition. It is a season, and it will change. These aren't grand gestures. They are small acts of remembering what you are. Ancient humans never felt lonely at night because they never forgot something we have slowly, quietly unlearned. That the night is not something to survive alone. It is something to share. Every feeling of nighttime loneliness you've ever had, every ache, every restlessness, every 2 a.m. silence that felt too heavy, was your ancient self, reaching across 300,000 years of memory, reminding you of something true. You were made for warmth. You were made for voices. You were made for the fire. And somewhere, that fire is still burning. You just have to find your way back to it. If this video moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear this tonight. They might be feeling exactly what we just talked about. Subscribe to Better Instincts, because next week, we're going somewhere fascinating. What did ancient humans eat before sleeping? What was the last thing they put in their bodies before the fire went out? The answer is surprising, and it might change your nights forever. Good night. Or wake well. Either way, you are not alone.